My name is Femi Omotayo. I'm interviewing Dr. Owen-Toler today on April 10th for the Voices of SMU Oral History Project. We are located in the NCDS Oral History Studio, located in Fondren Library on the campus of Southern Methodist University. Welcome, Dr. Owen-Toler.
Thank you.
So first, could you please tell us your name, what year you graduated from SMU, and what your major was?
Yes, so my name is Dr. Devean Owens-Toler. I graduated in 2014 and 2016. In 2014, I received a Bachelor's of Arts in Advertising and Public Relations. In 2016, I received a Master's of Education in Educational Leadership, Higher Education.
Okay. So firstly, what was your childhood like? Where did you grow up, and could you tell us about your family?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. I have an older stepsister and a younger brother. He's 5 years younger than me. Grew up with my parents in Little Rock. I went to school in the Little Rock School District, attended Parkview Magnet High School on the art side. So I was in dance throughout my schooling. Um, yeah, I was very involved, even, at a young age with volunteering, student council, National Junior Honor Society, Arkansas Commitment outside of school. We did a lot in the community, both in and out of school. Participated in Girls State, participated in a lot of student council conferences, like statewide conferences. So yeah, overall, just had a really fun, involved, I guess, childhood, teenage years, high school, and all that.
Why were you so involved, like even as a child, like very early?
That's a good question because I've been thinking about that lately, especially as I'm like, I say coming back to life, and I know we'll get to that part, but um, even in I think it was fourth grade, I had signed up to be a student ambassador. It was of my own interest, of my own will. And at that time, it was elementary, so the ambassadors would like help people get out of the car in the morning. So my mom had to get up extra early to take me to school. But I don't know. I've always had this passion, I guess, for helping people and giving back and just doing what I can to, um, I guess, pay it forward. I can't really pinpoint like where that comes from, other than it's just kind of like a natural part of who I am.
Do you think that could also come from family? Like you said, your mom having to have to wake up early to drop you at school. Do you
Yeah.
think they fostered that sense of passion for you?
Absolutely. My parents, from a like immediate like family perspective,
Mm-hmm.
they're definitely the ones that help the rest of the family and the community. Like anyone that they see, they are doing what they can to help others. My dad, we joke, my dad does not meet a stranger anywhere he goes. Like from going to the gas station to the grocery store, he's always meeting people. He's asking questions, learning about people's lives. Even here in Dallas, when he comes to visit me, he's telling me about the people, down the street from where I live. So that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it like that. So I guess it was kind of modeled for me growing up, even if it wasn't kind of, um, or I'm thinking, I guess maybe it was more like subconscious, subconsciously ingrained in me. But they were sticklers about volunteering and like and giving back in that way. So
Do you think that did that continue at SMU?
yes. So I was very excited. SMU was my dream school. I was very excited to get in. I remember the day that I got my packet in the mail. I have a picture in front of my Christmas tree, like holding it up. But before I even stepped foot on campus, I was getting involved. So I joined a Facebook group for the class of 2014, and we were all in there talking. And I was a Hunt Leadership Scholar. I was fortunate enough to receive that scholarship. So me and a couple other of our incoming hunts, we kind of started a group called Mustang Heroes. I'm not sure if it's still active. It is
It
still active on
is.
campus. So we were kind of like starting that in the summer before we even arrived on campus. But once we got here, I kind of let them, they took that and ran with it. And I got really involved with the Association of Black Students and Emerging Leaders. at the time. Those were kind of my big two areas. Sisters supporting sisters. I just kind of ingrained myself in the Black community because I had kind of the Hunt Scholars and that sort of thing outside
Mhm.
of the Black community. So it continued. I always joked because I preferred doing my outside of class activities than doing my actual classwork. Or I would be in class sometimes doing work for ABS,
Mhm.
trying to get donations for events, ABS or No Iota, Delta Sigma Theta. So, yeah, I was extremely involved. I spent a lot of time volunteering, organizing protests on campus and in the community, traveling, studying abroad for with the communications program, and then I also did the what is it called? Interactive marketing immersion experience through the advertising program, and so that was in New York the same summer that I went to London. So I was involved in all the things.
That's great.
Yeah.
I would say you definitely paved the way because I was also an emerging leader.
Oh,
I was a Hunt
nice.
Scholar finalist, so it's because of you. It's
Nice.
because of you. Um, so you've mentioned obviously ABS. How did you first get involved with the Black community on campus?
Yeah. So it was actually during my senior year of high school when I was, visiting and kind of, figuring things out, learning more about the campus. I attended an event in Little Rock. Like they would have the little events in your city. And I cannot remember her name. I can see her face, but I can't remember her name, the lady that I met. But she ended up organizing a visit for me to come here. And put me in contact with, at the time, it was Rose Torres, who was kind of the leader or advisor of the Hunt Leadership Scholars. I met with her when I came here. I also met Warren Say, who's also a Hunt Scholar, and he made sure I got connected with the Black community during that experience. And I was here with my parents, and we just, we felt the love. I met JJ during that weekend, and so many other people. And I was really connected with the Black community before I even was officially a student at SMU. So it just kind of naturally flowed. When I did get to campus, I knew where to go, I knew who to look for and reach out to. Who else was here? Oh, there was another woman here. I can't think of her name right now either, but she was here as well. So I came in getting involved. I think that my freshman year, I ran for freshman liaison. So I went straight into, leadership position to just get more acclimated to the community and just, kind of went from there.
Through ABS, you created the Black Excellence Award, right? And this February, we celebrated 15 years. Why, why did you create the Black Excellence Award? Why did you feel like that was needed for the Black students on campus?
Yeah, so we started that in 2012 was the inaugural Black Excellence Ball. And I say that and laugh because we all went back and forth on is it first annual or is it inaugural? But it was inaugural Black Excellence Ball. But at the time, our advisor, Stephen Johnson, he came, it was his first year as well. And he was just challenging us to do more for Black History Month, to really be louder in our celebration and celebrating our heritage. And I think it came out of our ABS exec meetings. We used to have our meetings on Friday evenings and or afternoons, but it came out of just kind of thinking through like how can we really make this big? What can we do to really celebrate us? And I think also the the larger events on camp, those like larger prestigious events on campus, there aren't a lot of Black faces at those events, right? There's not a lot of space, if you're not a Hunt Scholar or President Scholar or whatever, and even then, like, the spots and the space is limited. So for us, we wanted to create our own, honestly. We wanted to create our own, awards event, dress up, nice event where we could go celebrate us, celebrate our heritage, just have a good time. And so that's really what it came out of. Also reconnecting to the alumni and kind of bringing them into that experience as well. So I'm extremely proud that it's still happening, especially in the midst of the world today and kind of what we've been experiencing. that it's still happening, it's still going, and that y'all love it. So it's been amazing to see throughout the years.
Yeah, we're very grateful for you because as a senior, it's been one of my best experiences
Mhm.
every year dressing up with my friends, taking pictures after. So, very thankful for that. At this year's Black Excellence Ball, you discussed topics such as imposter syndrome, community, and your fight with breast cancer. Could you go into more detail about your story? What was your experience like with imposter syndrome on campus? How did you find your community, and how did that community help you with your diagnosis?
Yes. Um, I think imposter syndrome, it kind of, it ebbs and flows and comes and goes in your life, right? Especially depending on the environment that you're in, the stage of life that you're in. So for me, coming to SMU was definitely a culture shock. Um, the socioeconomic differences from, where I come from, the racial makeup, academically, I also felt uh, unprepared. And this is coming from someone who, graduated with like a 4 point whatever, like I thought, I had straight A's and, I'm smart and I got these scholarships. Like, how can I not be prepared at this level? So those are some things that I kind of struggled with in the beginning. Like I had to study very hard to really maintain my GPA and the things that I wanted to do. Um, so I think that naturally you kind of, as, person of color, as a Black woman on SMU's campus, you already have that sense of like, I don't belong on some levels, like when you're in the, greater community. And then sometimes you also have experiences where people make you feel like you don't belong. And then you're questioning your place at SMU. Or if you interrogate your experience and kind of share some of those negative experiences that you do have, then you get pushback from other students who are telling you, you should be grateful that you're here. You should be grateful that you have a scholarship and all of those things. So there's a lot that goes into, I think, that imposter syndrome. But for me, it was very much, standing in my experience, standing in my power, and having the community behind me, the advisors, JJ behind me, um, Steve, Melanie, Creston, that were Renee, that were really championing me and supporting me and the rest of our community through that process. Um, so I graduated a couple times, as I mentioned. Did never thought that I would, stay here and do my master's, but I felt like that was a completely different experience than undergrad, kind of being in that bubble of Simmons. Had amazing professors through that program, amazing cohort as well. So I was able to really, interrogate my experience, think through things, kind of evolve my thinking and who I am, be more confident in that and kind of stand in that. So fast forward a lot of years, 10 years, I guess. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer April 2025. With stage 2 triple negative breast cancer, which is an aggressive form of cancer that disproportionately impacts Black women. Um, and Black women also go misdiagnosed and undiagnosed because, of the healthcare system and racial disparities and health inequities. But fortunately, I was able to advocate for myself to even, get a mammogram. But when I was diagnosed, I reached out to my line sisters and kind of my, I guess, closer, inner circle or whatever to let them know what was happening. And even though I didn't have all the answers at that time, and it was like lighting us, a match, and it just spread like wildfire. One person told the next person, and throughout that entire 6 months, I don't know, 9 months of kind of that intense active treatment with 16 rounds of chemotherapy, and then the double mastectomy, which is the amputation of my breast. They showed up for me. Text messages, voice notes, things showing up at my door, care packages, flowers showing up at my door, gift cards. meals for my family, prayers, just all the things. I am very grateful and was very overwhelmed by, that level of love and care that they showed me throughout this journey and still to this day. I know Demarcus, he came in, they had surprised me and they put together what's called a blessing book. And everybody, and it wasn't even just people from SMU, which I thought was so beautiful. From literally every stage of my life, people wrote blessings for me. For to kind of celebrate my last chemo session. And so now I have this binder of all of these beautiful, encouraging, prayers and words from my community that I'll, have forever.
It is very impactful, your story, and
Thank
great
you.
how you felt like your community was there for you, even when you least expected it. Um, if there was a young girl listening to your story, what would you want her to take away from it? A Black girl, especially in the year of 2026, where there's a lot of political back and forth coming
Mm.
to SME for the first time, what would you want her to take away from your story?
Whew, that's a heavy question. Wow. Um, I was, I think the biggest thing is believing in yourself and staying true to yourself. There's a lot of noise, you know, social media, society, politically, like there's a lot of noise telling us who to be, how to be, what to think, what we should look like. And I know that to, it feels impossible and it feels uncomfortable to stand in who you are. When you look different, talk different, act different, like, come from a different, um, community than other people. But it's beautiful that we have those unique stories and that we bring a different perspective, we bring a different flavor, different value to every single room that we walk in. So being true to yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels impossible and it feels like you can't do it, when you feel like everybody else is against you and they just don't get it, they don't see you, they don't understand you. I want them to know that I see you, I understand you. There were women that came before you, there were women that came before me, like Andrew Sanders, who paved the way. And there will be women coming after you. And I think that's the biggest thing is that knowing that our lived experience is like, yes, it's our life and it's what we do, but there's a ripple effect and it's going to impact someone else down the line, even if you don't ever get to meet them. So just, yeah, being true to yourself and staying, yeah.
That was perfect. Even as I'm graduating, I'm inspired by you right now. It's like, yeah, when I get a DC, this is exactly
Yeah,
what I'm going to do.
period.
Stay true to myself, block out all the noise.
Yes.
So my very last question is, um, would you change anything about your SMU experience?
Mm. Hmm. I don't know. I had a really great experience. Like, despite, I was telling who was it? I was telling Melanie this the other day. She's a senior here as well. But I feel like I had, in some ways, two experiences. Um, like my life and experience within the Black community and ABS and New Iota, like we had a great time. Like we had some great events. We had a really great time and we made the most of being here. And I think like that's what JJ like stressed to us all the time. Like when we would come in there lamenting over the ridiculousness that was SMU, she was reminding us of the bigger picture. And so I'm really proud of what we did, what we created, and how we still enjoyed ourselves despite the things. Um, so I don't know that I would change anything. I used to say that I, wish I had gone to HBCU, which of course, I do wish I had that experience. But I know that SMU was an important part of my journey and a part of my story. And despite the flaws, like I still had I made the most of it and still had a great experience. So I don't think I would change anything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Dr. Owens-Toler, for agreeing to interview today. I really appreciated your time. It's
Yeah.
been fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it too.
Thank you.